And good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the big wide world. We are back. We are live. We are streaming once again, obviously. So we are back, you guys. We are bringing you, of course, Tata Steel Masters round number 9 coverage because, of course, chess.com did have to cancel Title Tuesday. Now, as you guys may know, we are watching these games on this great chess site that is called Chess24, which is now, of course, a proud property of the chess.com group. So that is why you guys who are wondering what's going on, this is what we're covering, and we're just chilling, having a good time. So let me adjust the board just a little bit. I know it's off just a touch, because I actually know you can't see Magnus's name, so I guess it's good. All right, so we are back. Of course, as I said, I took the weekend off. I was, of course, out in the greatest place in the United States, of course, in Los Angeles, California. So we are back. We are going to cover the games. Obviously, we're going to have to do it on Chess24, which is going to be a little bit janky. Now, as you guys know, the early Title Tuesday was covered, and there is a good reason for it. So before we actually dive into everything, let's cover an article, and we will go from there. So let me change the scene. Why can't you see it? Wait, what? One second. Let me go back to the previous scene, and I will set it up. Why is it doing that to me? Very stupid. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we are going to cover an article before we get into everything, you guys. So we have this article here, which is from chess.com, and it says, chess is booming and our servers are struggling. Dear chess community, on December 31st, we had 7 million active members on chess.com in a single day for the first time. Now, of course, 7 million is pretty impressive. That's a big number, obviously, but as we're going to see, that number has gone up a lot. On January 20th, we had 10 million active users or active members. Traffic on chess.com has nearly doubled since the beginning of December, and our servers are struggling, especially during peak hours, typically between noon to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We are very sorry for the issues. We know it's super frustrating. We are all hands on deck to address these challenges, but sadly, there isn't yet a simple button we can press to resolve these issues. We want to address the 2 core questions we see from the community. What is going on with all this chess growth? And number 2, why are the servers struggling? Naturally, there are many reasons for both, but we'll try our best to summarize all that's going on. So we start with number 1. What is going on with all this chess growth? As we noted, traffic on chess.com has nearly doubled since the beginning of December. Here are some statistics we can share showing just how remarkable the enthusiasm for chess has been. Number 1, all but 5 days in January have set new site records for active members. Now, it's one thing that I will note, you guys, based on both past trends and current trends, because I am somebody who does follow the stock market and just general trends. First thing that I will say is that when you look at trends and what's happening, I have noticed a theme that generally the chess boom, when they do happen, at least since Queen's Gambit, generally they hit YouTube before they hit chess.com, or before they hit everywhere else. So it's like you see the influx on YouTube, and then it spills over like on chess.com, Twitch, etc, etc, etc. So that is the first thing. Okay, so all but 5 days they set a new record. Number 2, the chess.com app reached the number 2 in the top free games section of the iOS App Store in the United States of America. It was number 1 in some countries. So this obviously says it all. The fact that the chess.com app was the number 2 app on all of iOS in the United States of America, what more needs to be said? Now, it's a shame it's not number 1. You use some silly game called Gardenscapes as number 1. But at any rate, no disrespect to Gardenscape, but it's not a game with such a rich history the way that chess is. At any rate, let's keep going. Every day since December 5th, 1 million people have solved the daily puzzle. Now, that is, again, insane. On January 19th, we had 1 million visits from Google for the first time. Next thing, we had over 300,000 members join in a single day, over 100,000 more than at the peak of the Queen's Gambit. Next one, 31,700,000 games were played on January 20th alone, a site record, and we are now regularly seeing more than 1 million games an hour. Again, boom goes dynamite. Now, if I go back a little ways, I remember there is this unnamed site, we don't need to name it, and I would always see that at the bottom they would show the number of active games versus chess.com and active games, and I feel like the numbers are something like, I want to say it was like chess.com was maybe like 270, 280k, and this other site was somewhere around maybe like 150, maybe a little bit lower, but it was generally like it was maybe 2 to 1 or a little bit below 2 to 1. But now, of course, I did log on to this unnamed site last night, and I saw a very piddly, I think it was like I saw 150,000 games going, and meanwhile on chess.com I saw 1.2 million. 1.2 million versus like 150k. So again, I think it speaks volume to which site is winning the battle, and all the great stuff that is happening on chess.com. Next up, we have why is chess growing so rapidly? It's impossible to point to one reason why there is so much interest in chess so suddenly. During the chess boom in 2020 and 2021, the reasons were clear: lockdowns, PogChamps, and the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Right now, we believe that this rapid growth is a combination of many things, driving interest and media attention for chess and combining into one big wave. Now we have the first one. The most popular social media post in 2022 featured Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing chess. We have many celebrities are talking about their chess obsession, the cheating controversy and the resulting drama with lawsuits, device allegations, and more. Next up, we have amazing creators, streamers, coaches, and chess community members making awesome content. Next, we have Chess Boxing. Next, we have chess.com's acquisition of the Play Magnus Group, chessboard gifts and games over the holidays, chess.com being featured on the App Store and trending on top games list, the incredible chess played by the best players in the world, and so many amazing events, and Mittens. Now, there are many things that can be said here. I will once again reiterate what I've said before. I do not think there's any one single thing that is driving it. I know some people, they've let some ego go to their heads and they're trying to make it all about themselves. But there are many different things going on. So the first thing that I would say in regards to this is that there's one thing that I stressed before, and I will stress again. The single most important thing that happened in regards to the whole chess boom and everything that has happened since then is PogChamps and sort of the groundwork and the infrastructure that was laid back during the initial boom of PogChamps. Because what that did, and I think it's really understated here in general terms, like they list all these things, but the reason that all this stuff matters and people will go somewhere is specifically because you have all the YouTube channels, you have all the Twitch channels, and you also have chess.com as well. So you have these things that were not here. Now, if you were to say take away myself, take away Levy, take away Twitch, YouTube, and all this other stuff, people might be really interested in chess and they might go to chess.com briefly, but there's nothing to necessarily keep them into it in the same kind of way. So that is why I think really all these things do matter. But again, the most important thing that happened was what happened in 2020 with the whole Twitch boom and PogChamps and everything else, because that laid the groundwork so that people have the resources beyond simply going to chess.com. Because while I think chess.com is great, you know, if I go on chess.com, I can do the puzzle, but I don't have that same, like, I can't learn super easily. Whereas if I go to YouTube, I can find that content. Doesn't matter who it is for that matter, but I can find what I want and I can just churn through videos over and over and over again. So that I think, like, at the end of the day, I think is something that has to be said, because it's never really mentioned. But that's what I would say. So at any rate, most of these I actually agree with pretty much everything. Mittens, I don't necessarily agree with. I think Mittens is just like the rock is just going down the hill already, and Mittens is just adding on top of it. So, all right, let's keep going with the article. Why are chess.com servers struggling? Back when chess first began booming during the COVID lockdown, our servers struggled to handle the traffic. We made a lot of investments in hardware and other improvements that allowed us to scale. When the Queen's Gambit boom happened, we experienced another massive increase in traffic, mostly without interruptions in service. Okay. As we discussed today, we are experiencing scaling issues on entirely new levels. When so many people use chess.com service, our database starts to spin out of control because it cannot write fast enough. What does that mean? 250,000 new accounts are being created each day. People are playing games 16,000 chess moves per second on average. People are adding friends. Now, again, just for good measure, you guys, let me change my scene. Just for good measure, and to be part of the problem. Wait, why is it not showing? How do I do this? Is this better? 1 second. Just to be part of the problem. Let me go back. Where was I? Where was I? There we go. Just to be part of the problem, let me make this a little bit smaller, and let me pull this all the way over. Just to be part of the problem right now, you guys. Just to be part of the big problem. Let's pull this down. All right. So let's make this a little bit smaller. And of course, you guys can see. So let's accept all our friend requests right now, right? Just to be part of the problem. Here I go. I just keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking. I'm going to be clicking for the next 2 minutes, you guys, because obviously this is what we do. So I'm going to accept all these friend requests right now. Let's see how many there are. I have a feeling there are a lot. So I'm just going to keep clicking this check mark to be part of the problem. Try to crash the server, right? This is what I should be doing because this is what everyone is obviously doing. So I will do a few more, and it's probably going to take too long. So let's stop doing that. All right, let's get back to the article in the meantime. Okay, you guys. So, all right, where were we? Let me pull this out. Okay. Or wait, this is yeah. Wait, was this the right one? This was the wrong scene. Actually, it was not. It was another scene, but whatever. It's all good. Okay, so where were we? Okay. 16,000 chess moves per second. People are adding friends. They are commentating, chatting, and doing awesome chess things. All this generates data that needs to be written to our databases. Sometimes our systems max out, and just when someone exercises too hard and has to stop and catch their breath, our servers also become exhausted and need to recover. When that happens, they quit working, and our site and apps become unresponsive. It is a huge bummer, and unfortunately, there isn't anything quick we can do to resolve the issue. Okay, now that is not a good sign. They say there's nothing quick they can do to resolve the issue. So I assume it's probably going to take them a week or two to fix it, but we'll see. Why can't chess.com scale the systems? We want to first assure you that every problem is being addressed as quickly as possible. They can be solved with more better hardware both on-site and in the cloud. We have a hybrid infrastructure. We have shipments arriving with the most powerful possible live chess and database servers this week. As Stan Mark says, so you're the one who crashes chess.com and stops you from doing puzzles. Yes, you guys, because I just keep clicking that accept friend request button over and over and over and over again. So it's all my fault, like everything else. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just adding more or bigger hardware. Well, that is part of the solution. There are bottlenecks, and once we solve one bottleneck, we grow until we find the next one. We are continuing to find the unscalable parts of chess.com, both proactively and reactively, and work to make them scale more. What is chess.com's action plan? To address the challenges our databases are experiencing, we are separating database tables, sharding databases. Again, I'm not a computer person, so I don't know, or I'm not like into this sort of stuff, so I don't know what it means. Sharding database and putting services in memory. We are also working on cleaving off our most problematic database with users and gameplay. Each of these things takes time because there is so much data to move around. We are working on more graceful failures so that if things do go sideways and everything is exhausted, we can recover more quickly and with less interruption. Everyone possible at chess.com is focused on this, and we are also hiring as quickly as we can. Honestly, this sucks. We know you are here to play and enjoy chess, and it's very frustrating to be looking for a game and instead get a 502 database connection error. Now, what I would say, you guys, is to chess.com, I feel like Google recently laid off, I want to say 12,000 employees. Come on, you guys, you can do better. Or you have your game time out. We are not taking this lightly. We are implementing more short-term fixes today and more broadly expect to have a much better and more stable experience by later this week. Some major changes will be in place in 2 to 3 weeks that we hope will allow us to properly handle the next wave of chess enthusiasm. It's never been a more exciting time to be a chess fan, but that's also why it's such a frustrating time to have service outages. We love you and we love you, we feel you, we are sorry, and we are working as hard as we can to return to stability and provide the best possible experience today and in the future. When we reach 15 million or even 20 million people playing chess in a day, chess is incredible, and it's a joy to share this game with all of you. All right, you guys. So yes, there's a ton of Fang layoffs. Yes, I'm aware of that, but we are going to move along, you guys. We're going to change the scene. Where was I? We are, of course, going to be covering the Tata Steel Masters tournament for a little bit. Title Tuesday was canceled, as everybody knows. I will turn off the. I don't like seeing the line. So how do I turn it off? It's been a while since I've. How do I turn it off? No, that's not what I meant to click. Whatever. I'll leave it like this. We're going to cover Tata Steel for a little bit. I will obviously be doing some variety. We will maybe do the Disrespect speedrun because it's been a little while since I last did that. But that's going to be the plan. But at any rate, you guys, we are back. Obviously, it is Tuesday, so early Title Tuesday was canceled. Long Title Tuesday was not canceled. How 250k new accounts per day? I will tell you, I think there are many things going on. I think first and foremost, as people have alluded to before, I think the around the holiday times, chess booms. One thing that has happened for a little bit is one thing that has happened, I feel like since 2020 is like December, January, and into early February, there have been massive booms of viewers coming in to watch chess. I think it's probably because over the holidays people are buying chesses. Chess is very, very hot, so that's that. Growsport, well, you guys, you know, chess.com, they are the proud owners of Chess24, so we are going to admire this great layout that Chess24 has here. Great board. I mean, the pieces aren't the pieces I use now. When I played the Chess24 events, I used different pieces. Now I haven't been on the site in a while, so how do I change the pieces? How do I change the pieces to the piece I actually used, or the board to the board I used? Maybe I go to settings. Will this change something? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I think no, this is what I used. Yes. Okay. And that's good. Wait, what? It didn't change it? This is what I used. Okay, whatever. Okay. And there we go. And there we go. And why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? It's not saving it. Whatever. At any rate, you guys, we are going to be covering it. Yeah, I was using a different board when I played the Magnus events in like 2020 and 2021. Refresh maybe. Okay, let's refresh. We'll see if it does. Check Emil's tweet. Okay, you guys, you say there's an Emil tweet. Somebody in chat link me to Emil's tweet. I gotta see Emil's tweet about what the boom is all about. Come on, you guys, if there's an Emil tweet, I have a feeling I have to cover it. So somebody put a link. It'll get crossed out, but I have to see the link. Or I have to go to Twitter. Come on, you guys. Somebody in chat, send me the link. Send me the link. Come on. There's got to be a good link. Let me put the music back on. I know it sounded a little bit soft. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this up. Actually, I'll stop the music again very briefly. Let's see. What is this tweet? Let me change this. Which one's best? Let's go to Okay. All right. Let's go to Twitter. Let's see. What is this tweet from Mr. Emil Satovsky, the Director General at FIDE? I have a feeling this is going to be good, but let's see. What did he say? Some great job. Okay, so first of all, he's Director General. He could actually write in proper English and say a great job versus some great job by chess.com, but I'm not going to be the grammar guy right now, even though I like being that guy. However, I feel FIDE events were among the key drivers in 2020. Oh, I barely have to read the first sentence and already, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I barely have to get started. I know where this is going. Okay. However, I feel FIDE events were among the key drivers in 2022. Madrid candidates, massive success. Chennai Olympiad, huge interest with lasting effect in India, plus massively followed globally. World Rapid Blitz, 120 million views to date. Tell it to your mittens. Okay, so I'm gonna be brutally blunt here, and I'm just gonna be brutal. I'll just be brutally blunt. The fact is, the reason the candidates was, and this is where I'm gonna do my inner levy right now. The fact is, one of the biggest reasons the Madrid candidates was followed so closely is because I was playing in it and I was very, very competitive. One of the biggest reasons that the World Rapid Blitz did so well is because Magnus and I were playing. We are, I mean, to be fair, the two most followed chess players in the world. If neither of us was playing, that event would have gotten no coverage. That is just the reality. So am I worried that he won't invite me again? I mean, let's be serious. I don't deal with Emil. If I'm talking to FIDE, I'm talking to someone above him. So yeah, this is great. This is great. Don't be but I mean, this one I'm not even joking. I'm just being honest. Like, one of the biggest reasons Madrid was followed so closely is very specifically because I played and I was competitive. And the World Rapid and Blitz, I'm sorry, you had Magnus, you had me. The tournament was very competitive, of course, but still, like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. So yeah, I mean, this is comical. Also, again, as I would say for like the millionth time today, the reason that all this can happen is specifically because of everything that chess.com was doing prior to 2022. You look at the pandemic, the lockdown, 2021. That is just the reality. That's just the reality. All this happened because of everything that chess.com was doing before 2022 as well. So I mean, this is just comical. This is just comical. And I will say it's a bad sign for FIDE when you have someone who basically, what it seems like they're trying to do is they're trying to diminish what chess.com is doing. They're trying to say that like FIDE is doing a great job when, I mean, the reality is that, I mean, it's chess.com. That's just the reality. It's just the reality. It's all because of FIDE. Yes, you guys, everything is because of FIDE. I would also say this. if any organization came along, let's just say Elon Musk, for example, or Jeff Bezos, or whomever it might be, since I mean, I'm assuming not enough of you are taking away Bezos's money with your Prime sub, but at any rate, I'm guessing like if one of those guys came around and they were willing to put like $10 million a year for like 10 years, just 100 million commitment over 10 years, like over 10 years, FIDE would be poof, 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 poof. It would be finished. It would no longer exist. Or maybe it would still exist, but it would not be relevant at all. So it's very comical that like Emil here is somehow trying to like, he's trying to say that FIDE somehow had a big role in everything when FIDE literally is at the very bottom of the totem pole doing the absolute minimum. So this is just, I mean, this is a typical FIDE reply. Even in 2020, it was kind of funny to see some of these tweets. Like you're like, okay, they don't quite understand the landscape. They're putting out these tweets, and in 2023, you see the same stuff still happening, and it's very, very funny. Very funny. So yeah. All right, you guys. Oh, I mean, you guys are participating in these events because FIDE literally hosts these events. Yes, well, that's kind of the point. If you look at the online events, there were the online tours, there was the RCC, the SEC, the CGC that chess.com held. There, of course, was the Meltwater tour on Chess24. The reality is that like all these, the reason people, you know, if these events just existed every week, nobody would even show up at over the board tournaments again. So it's just, I mean, this is just so out of touch with reality. It's sad. It's honestly sad to see. Let's keep going. We have another tweet. What is this? This is a tweet from Mr. Dodgy, but the 2023 version is chess popular because of FIDE or in spite of FIDE. Another great one. This is another great one, you guys. This is a good one. Yep, this is a good one. Because of FIDE or in spite of FIDE. Obviously, you know, people do actually see the reality, contrary to what Emil wants to say. But yeah, absolutely hilarious. Vasiv's blog on chess earnings, will be covering that a little bit later. Now, as you guys know, I wanted to play Title Tuesday, but we can't play Title Tuesday because the chess.com servers are still struggling. At any rate, you guys, we are going to be covering that. Before we get to that, you know, I will thank some of my subs because there was somebody who subbed. They subbed with their Prime. I think it was while I was offline. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody subbed while I was offline from Coffee Chess, where I went this past Sunday. I was obviously in Los Angeles, seeing family, and then of course doing some content. So I don't see the username right now. A big shout out to those guys from Coffee Chess who are trying to figure out how to use the Prime on their phone to resub. I did see they resub, so thank you so much, you guys. Anyway, we are covering, of course, Tata Steel, and let's see what is the position. Okay, live. We have A6 played here. So White can't. Is there a way to analyze on this board or not? I don't know if there is. But Queen takes B6 is not playable because you would lose the Rook. Is there a way to make arrows? Is there a way to make arrows on this board or not, you guys? So I actually don't use Chess24 that frequently. But you can do it on Lee Chess now, you guys. I'm not doing it on Lee Chess. Not right now. So like for example, if White plays Queen B6, there's Queen takes D3 as an example. So you can't take the knight here. You need an account. Okay, let me log in. I'll log in on another 1 second. I'll log in. 1 second.
Chakrabandu just subscribed.
Log in. Okay, let's pull this over here. Okay, let's see. I am logged in now, so maybe it works. So yeah, so if you go, no, it doesn't work. So yeah, if you play Queen takes B6, there's Queen takes D3. If you don't play Queen B6, there might be H5 here, but I guess after Queen H5, Queen B6, Queen D1, if you block, you lose the Rook. And if you go King H2, there's check. And if you go King G3, there's Queen G6. Classic right triangle leading to a forced draw. Again, you guys, Chess24 pieces look nice, but the bar on the left is awful. Hey, you guys, what can I say? But they did get acquired for $82 million, I believe, if I have the number correct. So at any rate, all right, so position is kind of imbalanced a little bit. Hard to see what's going to happen, but a lot of play left. We had a quick draw, it looks like, between Jordan Van Forest and Levon Aronian. Now, not to speak poorly about players, but I will say the biggest disappointment in this tournament by far and away has been Jordan Van Forest. He it feels like he's been struggling pretty much every game with white or black. I know he's not quite at the bottom of the table, but he's been struggling every game. I feel like he's had maybe one good position. So it's been a very, very rough event. So it's obviously disappointing to see Levon get absolutely nothing in this game, and it's just a very, very standard draw. Aroni is not the biggest disappointment. No, Jordan Van Forest is. No, it's definitely not Levon. Let me put the music back on as well. So we will, yeah, let's see. We have Noterbeck is playing Vincent Kamer. Noterbeck is, what does it count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Noterbeck up a pawn, but he has some weak pawns here. This pawn is weak, this pawn is weak, this pawn is weak. So there are some weak pawns here. So I feel like music is too loud. I think music is good. It's got to be on your end. I'll ask the mods. So yeah, at any rate, it looks like Kamer should be okay. I don't know if he's gonna win this, but we'll see. At any rate, yeah. Oh, the music could go down a tiny bit. Okay, sorry guys, let me turn the music down. Apologies. Okay, there we go. All right, so once again, you guys, we're back. Obviously, we're just chilling, having a good time. For everybody who's wondering, I was traveling this weekend. If you did happen to see me or you didn't see me, there will be some videos from Coffee Chess, the great coffee shop in, actually I shouldn't say where it is because they don't want people saying where it is because they've gotten death threats and other kind of insane stuff happening. But I was at Coffee Chess, obviously filmed some videos, played against some people, and had a good time. So of course it was great being back in LA. WTF, I'm gonna tell you guys something. There's a certain Reddit site, and if you go to that site, you would understand that people in chess are completely insane at times, and we'll leave it at that. So no, I mean, death threat, like, you never know, you guys, you never know, because, like, I'll give you an example. You have this guy called Boston Mike at a Coffee Chess. He has a little bit of trash talk. Obviously it's all in good fun. He's one of the nicest guys that you'll ever see. And so he's obviously, like, he's joking around, having a good time, and, like, people watch the videos, people think he's like a total children cover your ears. They think he's a total asshole, and basically yeah, you get stupid stuff like that happening. So at any rate, yeah, so I won't say where it is, but I was there on Sunday. It was a lot of fun. You will see some videos on YouTube of that as well. Did I get A tiers? No, you guys, I was trying to set something up where I might play chess with a certain A-lister, but it never quite happened. It never materialized, unfortunately, but that's that. At any rate, yeah, so I was in LA. I filmed some chess. I saw my grandmother out in the Mojave Desert, so it was good. All good. All right, you guys, so Noterbeck, knight a4, idea to put the knife on c5, target the pawns here. And we'll see. MVL's tweet on title to say c'est terrible. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's very sad. So, all right. Do I still have a place? No, I don't have a place in LA. I was out there visiting, you guys. So I was in the Mojave Desert seeing my grandmother. I mean, she's not doing great. So I was in the Mojave Desert. And then I used my free Marriott night. Because of course I'm a Marriott Rewards member and I'm platinum status. So I used my free night to stay at a hotel before I flew back the next morning. All right. So where were we? We have Ding and Anish who are playing. This position looks kind of messy. Not really clear what's going on. Rapport in Arjun's game is the messy game. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of... Oh, chess.com is back. The events page is back. Is it? Please, you guys. Please tell me it's back. Please tell me it's back. Wait, is it just all together down? What? No, no, it's still down, you guys. It's still dead. Okay, still dead. It's what it is. All right. Okay, so what do we have? We have Arjun versus Richard, of course. Thanks so much, Suzanne Illy, for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I would say the big disappointments in Tata still have been Arjun for sure. It feels like Arjun, he hasn't been losing as many games, but he has not gotten great positions. It feels like he's just been flat the whole event. I think Arjun's been flat. I would say that Jordan's been bad. Gukesh has not been very good, but I feel like with Gukesh, it's more that Gukesh has run into great prep from players versus him actually playing terrible chess. So that's what I would say broadly speaking. Even though Gukesh has a bad score, his result hasn't been good. He's just sort of been caught in preparation by a few people. So I think his score looks worse than it actually has been. Whereas I feel like Arjun and Jordan, they've just been flat from the get-go. They haven't gotten good positions. Rapport is a 50-50 player. Yeah, Richard Rapport, obviously very strong player. He's definitely somebody who he's basically all or nothing. He's going to win games, but he's also going to lose games. Why is Vishy not playing? Yes, you guys, I had a message with Vishy, as I will tell you guys. I I spoke to Vishy very recently, and I said, have fun in Vaikonze, you should be playing. And Vishy said, true, standing here, it's very tempting. So it's a shame that Vishy didn't play. Obviously, it would have been great if he had played the event, but it is what it is. What to say. And to somebody who said, can you stop talking for a sec? Well, you guys, I'll give you guys a little story. So early on during the pandemic, when I first started hitting around February, March of 2020, I remember trying to digest as much information as I could about streaming. And there was a show on Amazon, and it was called, I forget what it was called, but there were 2 episodes. There was an episode with, of course, Myth, and there was an episode with Pokimane. And I remember very clearly, it's on Amazon Prime Video, by the way. If you do have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free to Twitch using that Prime. Take $5 away from your Prime subscription and subscribe to my channel. At any rate, as I was saying, so I remember watching that show. It was early 2020, like February-ish, and when I was watching, I think Myth made this comment. He said something like, when people come in to watch your channel, you have something like 30 seconds to basically hook them. If you don't hook them within 30 seconds, they might go somewhere else and watch another channel. So when you hear me talk nonstop over and over and over again, that is one of the basic reasons that I do. So that's my explanation. Sorry if it's not good enough for you, dude. All right. So geez, he's getting fossil. Oi. What the? I mean, even Queen H2 is GG. What is Arjun doing? I mean, what the heck? Very poor. Very, very poor. Big F for Art. I mean, he was lost anyway, but this is what I'm saying. Like, if I look at Arjun's games, like, he just seems very flat in this tournament. I don't know what it is. He just seems flat, though. Like, this is just normal. I mean, very slow Nimzo Indian. Nothing crazy. Bishop E4 is a little bit weird. Interesting. G5, G4, G8. I mean, Queen E1 already, I don't know. It seems dubious. But yeah, Arjun resigns. He loses. I mean, just brutal. What to be said. Brutal. Yeah, so very, very, very sad for Arjun. Definitely, Arjun actually is a player who has not played good chess for a while now, I feel like. Ever since Tata Still India, like, the World Rapid and Blitz, it seemed like he struggled in both. He's struggling here in Tata. So, I mean, it's obviously probably just a little blip. He's very young, and he has time to learn. But feels like he's definitely been struggling now for a little bit. So, very, very tough. All right. So, Chess Champions Tour is confirmed. Yes, on chess.com, that is correct. Actually, you know, for chess.com, if we're thinking about chess.com, they probably really need to do a good job working on their servers now before that event happens. Also, because on Saturday, you guys, there will be the bullet brawl on chess.com. It's an open event, 2-hour arena for titled players, 1-0 bullet. So it's gonna be good. They've been having problems for the past 3 weeks. I assume it's gonna get fixed pretty soon, is my guess, but who knows. I don't understand what happens to the top Indian gems in such tournaments, except Vishy. I hardly see anyone coming close from India. That's because Vishy, children, close your ears. That's because Vishy is a fudging god. That's why, you guys. Vishy is one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, these kids are great and all, but you can't compare these kids to Vishy and Anand. I mean, with all due respect to like Prag, Gukesh and Arjun, let's be honest. Like, I mean, Vishy is like a top 5 player of all time. Like, these kids might be like top 50 all time, but Vishy is like top 5 of all time. Like, come on. I mean top 3, I would not agree with that, because like Gary, for example, Gary chess was better than Vishy and they played during the same era. And obviously Magnus is better, and I mean Bobby was just like out of this world, but nonetheless, like you just can't compare these kids to Vishy. Vishy is just like, he's like, yeah, once in a generation kind of guy. I'm a Vishy fanboy. No, I'm a fan of facts, you guys, and facts show that Vishy is one of the best of all time. So, all right, where were we? Okay, so we have 2 games that are done. Magnus's game is still going, and that's that. Things are a hamster hand for the 30 thing, a trophy for the 2, Ian Brody for the 7, Zanzix for the 6, Goder for the prime, Leanne Drow with the prime, Roboyois with the tier 1, Kunjo with the prime, and 08 as well. Will Magnus play e4 here? E4 is a move. Wesley's game. Yeah, we haven't gone around the horn. I'm sorry it's so janky, you guys. Obviously, as you know, everybody is using chess.com like there's no tomorrow. Thanks to Robaroids for the 5. Gifted thinking of Monastic Moose as well for the prime. Thanks so much to Monastic Moose. Wesley's game looks like a draw, right? You just looks like a repetition. I mean, maybe Wesley can drop back. I mean, I don't know. Is this actually better for black? I'm skeptical this can be anything special. It's even material. I think we're gonna get a draw here. Just a guess. Thanks so much to Watch Spectre for the 3 months. Thank you to Greg V for the 16 of the Flying Gerbil for the prime as well. Appreciate it. Do you feel a responsibility with your huge platform? What do you mean? What do you mean by that exactly? I don't know what you mean by that. Okay, so Wesley's game ends in a draw. Very unsurprising. Like I said, I didn't think black would really be better after queen g6, so we get a draw. We have 3 games that are over. We have 4 games still going. We have Vincent versus Noterbeck, probably the biggest game of the day. Why am I not playing in Tata? Well, you guys, we have our command here. I will show you again. Here's the command. I will read it out to you guys. Hikaru submitted. Okay, here we go. Hikaru submitted a vacation request so he could play at Tata Steel Bike, but the mods denied his request. He has taken a lot of vacation time lately. Iceland, Canada, India, Kazakhstan, and needs to focus on his shop, which of course is streaming. He will continue to accumulate 0.5 days of vacation per pay period that he can use for future vacations such as Norway Chess in May of 2023. So that, you guys, is the reason I'm not playing in Vicon today, because I do have a job, and what can I say? I have a real job. So let's bring 25k people here to start disrespect maybe soon. Thank you so much to Sober Guy for the 10, Onser for the 12, and Daregu for the prime. Appreciate it. What is this site? This, of course, is the great site that we call Chess24, currently a property of chess.com after the buyout of Play Magnus Group. Chess.com right now, it's a little bit shaky. It's struggling a touch, and that's that. How about a mock title Tuesday like last week's Arena Kings? I could do it. I could do something, obviously, but yeah. I just told you guys why I'm not participating. Thank you so much, a lucky viewer, for the 27-month resub. Thank you so much. Carlson's position looks dry. I mean, the game is going to heat up pretty soon, but it's pretty typical of classical chess, where basically I don't know if times are correct, or not. But at the end of the day, as we look at this position, it's going to be very slow, and then we're going to slowly build up to the climax in probably like 10 to 15 minutes. That's my guess. If Vichy would be 5th all-time, where would you put yourself? I don't like doing that. I would just say that, to me, when I look at the historicals, I think there are 3 who are above the rest. Of course, you have Magnus Carlsen, Gary Kasparov, Bobby Fischer. Those are the top 3, no doubt in anyone's mind. Beyond that, it gets a little bit sketchy, but I might be inclined to put Vichy at number 4 just because of the longevity that he's had. I mean, he's what, 50 years old, and he's still competitive. I mean, I'll be honest, this might be a hot take, but if Gary Chess tried to play classical chess tomorrow, he would be nowhere near Vichy's level. Nowhere near Vichy's level. So I mean, I would say there's a strong argument that I think you could put Vichy at number 4 and then maybe Karpov at 5, and then of course it's hard. Then of course I think it becomes very subjective. I mean, I think Karpov and Vichy, it's very subjective who you want to put ahead, but Vichy's longevity is like pretty insane. Okay, we get e4 from Magnus. Knight c4 played instantly. What? Okay, I'm going to make a bold prediction, you guys. I think Magnus is going to win his 3rd game in a row, which is going to give us time to make a recap for YouTube. I think we're going to get this position here after h5, and I think Magnus is going to win this position. Of course, white cannot play queen takes b7, because then you would just take on h4. So I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think if Magnus plays rook d5, bishop d2, and h5, he's going to win this game. That's my guess. You look fresh. I feel pretty good, you guys. I'm finally feeling pretty good. I mean, I still have a touch of phlegm in my throat, and my nose is a little bit sniffly at times, but overall my voice is back, and I feel about as close to perfect as I'm going to be until I am actually like 100%. So just getting over that cold or flu or COVID or whatever it was, it's that's life. Okay, you guys don't like the board. How do I change the board? Or can I wait? I can let's play around. Let's see. Let's open this game in analysis. But will this show the moves? Will you guys, somebody who uses Chess24, I'm in the analysis board. Will the moves update or not? Will the moves actually update here or not? No, they won't. Okay, so okay, so I got it. Okay, you know what I have to do? I have to make a new browser. Okay, I got it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have, sorry, I have to learn chess 24. Watch. Okay, we're gonna have two boards. I figured it out finally. Okay, I think I figured it out finally. So okay, let me this is just gonna be the game board. So let me adjust, and I'll create an analysis board so we can actually go over variations. Sorry, just give me one second, you guys. Obviously, I really almost never use chess 24, so it's a little bit of a learning curve here. But okay, there we go. Okay, and duplicate the scene. Analysis C24. There we go. Okay, now I will go. Where was the other game? Here we are. Okay, so this is perfect. Okay, so let me adjust this, make this smaller. Okay, so perfect. There we go. Sorry for the technical issues, but at least I can resolve these issues without having a server die or without being able to stream. So sorry for the little bit of a delay, you guys. But all right, so here we go. So I'll make this right there. There we go. Now it should be good. Okay, so this is the analysis board that I have. Okay, so this is an analysis board of the Magnus game. So what I expect is rook d5, knight d2, bishop d2, queen e4. Oh, it does update. It does update. Now probably h5. How do I make arrows? I can't make arrows in the analysis board either. Wait, come on, you guys. Surely I can make arrows in the analysis board, right? 82 million and there are no arrows here? This can't be serious. Right click? I'm alting, I'm right clicking. Okay. I mean, what the? How do I add arrows? I'm in the analysis board. This is literally analysis board. What the heck? How do I make arrows? Oh man, this is too much for me, you guys. $82 million for this piece of junk. Okay, let's get back to the regular scene. I mean, like seriously? Yeah. Okay. I think there's a reason chess.com has so much traffic. I think this is why. Yeah. I chose a color and I still couldn't make arrows. Yeah. I don't think they bought it for the board software. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, like, I am logged in, like everything's good. I'm logged in. I've had an account there for a long time. 82 million for Magus to play Title Tuesday. I kind of agree. You guys. I chose a color and you draw the left click. Again, you guys, sorry to sound stupid here, but if you go on the unnamed site of chess.com, you obviously right click. Why on earth would chess24 try to make it as a left click? Why would they try to differentiate when the biggest sites have a very standard setup for making arrows? Why would you do that? That's like what dev like was out of their mind when they did that. Anyway, okay, we get rook d5 here. Like, yeah, you're saying I'm supposed to left? No, I can highlight a square. Okay, now, wow. Okay, at any rate, we got the position I said. So now how do I I can't even left click to I can't even left click to undo the arrows. Jeez. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. This is too much. This is literally too much, you guys. Yeah. So use Microsoft Paint. Exactly, you guys. Use Microsoft Paint like it's late. Oh, chess.com is working. Let me refresh. Is it? No, it's not working. So, all right. Thanks so much to Vinny Akora for the 4, Papa D for the 5, Pojangles. Thank you to Biosplunk. Thank you to Gen X Gamer for the Prime. Yeah, I mean, what I would say, broadly speaking, about all this stuff is, I mean, of course, it is very difficult. Chess.com obviously struggling. They will sort it out. We know they will. They've shown historically that they can. So, probably just a matter of time. Obviously, very annoying to have to deal with it, but that's life. It's working, but on Firefox only. I think I have Firefox on this computer. Let me see if it's working. Yeah. Let me see. Let me open Firefox. Let's see. Not loading. Yeah, not loading. So, all right. So, where were we? All right. So, as we keep going with Tata still, we have this game between Magnus and Gukesh. No, I didn't have time to do the computer, you guys, because basically I ended the stream on Wednesday. And I flew Thursday afternoon, so I didn't have time to do it. But we will have our new computer up pretty soon, probably by the weekend. It has a 4090, of course, because for a very intensive game like chess, which is so demanding graphically, you got to have the best of the best. So I will have the new computer up by the end of this weekend. So yeah, thanks so much to Graphics for $3. Appreciate it. Thank you. So yep. All right. I mean, everybody's got a 4090. So okay, so we have Gukesh. This is still okay. Someone said Ding blundered. Ding is playing against Anish. Ding apparently blundered what? Bishop takes c4 and takes, and this is losing, really? Wow, this is actually losing? Crazy. I don't know. That seems, but he did it. Oh, actually, wait, I realized, White's missing a pawn on the king side. Actually, wait, I realized White is missing a pawn. It's 3-on-2. So actually, this is completely reasonable. For some reason, I thought White had an extra pawn on the king side, but it's actually 3-on-2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 pawns. So actually, I think Anish will win if he finds queen e5. If Anish finds queen e5, he's going to win this game. Hot take, Ding will get crushed in the World Championship. I don't know. What I would say about Ding is that it's very clear he's trying to save his openings, but in the process of trying to save his openings and not play his main stuff, he's struggling. Like he's been losing a lot of games. The quality of his play hasn't been as good, and I actually feel like in general it's questionable whether it's the right strategy. Thank you so much to Sheephawk for the prime. While I play the Air Things Masters, what do you mean? Is that the event on chess.com in February? I probably will. I am using Brave, you guys. I don't know who's gonna win, but I feel like if anything, this is bad for Ding's confidence, because he can be like, oh yeah, I'm playing my side openings, like I'm not using my main openings, and that's that. But again, I feel like confidence wise it's not good. I don't speak Deutsch, you guys. I speak English, Italian, Spanish, some Spanish, and some French, smatterings of French, and a touch of Japanese, although I've forgotten all my Japanese. Thanks so much to KRT Zoda for the 12 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks so much to Brezzy Day for the 6 months. Appreciate it. So yeah. Yeah. Dutch words? No, I don't know any Dutch. Actually, I know a word, but it's Afrikaans. It's not Dutch. But like, like lekker and lacquer and words like that. That's Afrikaans, but I guess that probably is Dutch too, right? Yeah, lekker, right? Lekker. That's like it's like Dutch, Afrikaans, and everything else. Yeah. Anyway, oh, it's so it's both. Yeah, right. Of course. So okay. Anyway, where were we? So we have Rook F2 here. So this game's still going. Let's go back to Magnus' game again. You guys, obviously, is a little bit unusual. We don't have title twos or anything like that. So it's a little bit of a weird day today, but we should have an evening title Tuesday, or at least that's the hope. Chess.com is working if you refresh multiple times. I mean, I can refresh like 5 times. Database overload. Database is overloaded, boys and girls. Yeah, thank you for that. Let's try refresh again. Yeah, you guys are full of troll today. I appreciate it. So yeah. Okay, so where were we? So Rook d4 played, so obviously Guki will go queen c6, keep the pawn guarded. Although maybe queen e6 is a move too. I think queen c6 is the human move, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I think Magnus is gonna win this game though. I feel like Magnus will win this game. That's my prediction. May I ask, how stressful is streaming life for you? Streaming is great, you guys. Compared to having to play chess year round, streaming is a breeze. I love streaming. It's great, and it's so much more fun too. It's more fun. It's more money. You get to have fun with people. Like, what more do you want? And there's so much less stress. I mean, come on. In what world do you think what world do you think streaming is worse than playing chess year round? Playing chess year round is like so stressful. I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, obviously I don't know because I haven't been to a doctor in like forever, but I would guess that my blood pressure and other stuff has gone like way down ever since I stopped playing chess and I started streaming. I'm being honest when I said it too. I bet my blood pressure has gone like way down, way down. So yeah, I think you should invest in Norwegian stock market. Solid. What do I look like an oil bro? What does it look like? I want to invest in Stat Oil and every oil company under the sun? I don't think so. Thank you so much to JD Camp for the 5 months. Thank you to Jet Black for the Prime. Appreciate it. Besides, if I want to invest in Stat Oil, I'll just buy it on the NYSE. So thank you. All right. So we're waiting for a move here. Ding's game still going, pretty messy. Thank you so much to Udux for the Prime. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Why is Sun Boom in chess? I mean, I think right now it's just a wave of everything good happening. I think for example, for example, there are many things going on. First and foremost, I would say that I think the biggest thing that happened, probably even if the effects weren't seen right away, was probably chess boxing in a weird way. In terms of the recent boom, it probably was chess boxing, even though that didn't show up instantly in terms of like what like the numbers and everything else. But I think it probably was, that was the initial thing. Then a huge thing also was the SEC. Like it can't be understated that final SEC match, the fact that Magnus and I played, it was really competitive, and then I even won that match. I think that really sort of lit the fire. And yes, I know people are going to say Levy, but you know, one thing that I would say is that there are a lot of YouTube channels that have been booming. Like the chess.com channel is booming. Levy's been booming. Obviously, it's the biggest, so that's what you hear about. And he makes it a point to talk about it, you know, quite a bit. But my channel as well. Like I think I've gotten something like 200,000 subs in the last like month or a little over a month on YouTube as well. So it's not just like Levy's. It's not just Levy's channel. It's everywhere. So, all right. Where were we? If knight h5 played here, probably on each will go queen c7, queen e7, but it's a tough position to play. Tough position to play for both sides here. No, but I mean the reason that YouTube cannot be understated, though, the reason YouTube cannot be understated, that it has to be said, is that even from anecdotal evidence myself, when I see people in person who recognize me, I would say there's probably 90% of people who recognize me watch my videos on YouTube. For example, when I flew to LA the other night, I was at LAX. I went to Enterprise to get my car. The guy who was taking care of it, he actually recognized me, and like everybody else, he's like, I watch your videos on YouTube. It's not all of you guys on Twitch who seem to recognize me in person. It seems to always be YouTubers. Always. Like it's like 90% of the time it's like people watch on YouTube. So the majority of people who follow chess do follow on YouTube more so than Twitch. Thank you so much to Enmos for the 7 months. Thank you so much to AK Armadio for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, at any rate, all right. Waiting for a move here from Anish. Messy position, but Anish should be in good shape. We have Parham Drew. Kamer is... Ooh, Noterbeck is actually in trouble here. Material is even, but the knight can start to reroute to like this e5 square. If you get a bastion on e5, I think Vincent's going to win this game. I think Vincent will win. Thank you so much to Hey Nikolai for the 24, Taufik for the 13, and Aaron is JP. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, I think that Noterbeck is going to lose, and if Noterbeck loses, what does this do for the standings? For the standings, this means that Wesley's on 5.5. Okay, so Geary, if he wins, is tied. Vincent's at the bottom, so it doesn't really change a whole lot objectively. We'll see. Thank you so much to Gukon Wanderasu for the 13 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. What happened to Noterbeck? He's playing great chess. Chess.com is working. If you guys gave me 5 cents for every time that I heard that this morning, I'd probably already own like 1,000 shares of Amazon. Oh, actually, sorry, Amazon's really cheap post split. Sorry, so no, that's a bad analogy. I'd probably own like 1,000 shares of Google. No, Google split too. Wait, what's high price still? What hasn't split? Google, Tesla, Amazon all split. I guess they all split. So yeah, but Apple's only like 140. Microsoft, that's true. Microsoft, yes, but no, but I mean Google and Tesla were like 2000 plus. Yeah, brk.a, yes, exactly, yes, of course. Which, by the way, for anyone who wants to hear some non-chess talk, I will talk about non-chess for a second. Like, it was crazy this morning. For some reason, I woke up a little bit late. It was right around 9:30, and like I actually I booted up and I looked, and I like as soon as the market's open, there were all these very weird prints of like stocks going up like 10%, and there were a bunch of halts this morning. So my day got off to a very weird start. There were like halts in all kinds. I think it's like AT&T was up like 13% and all sorts of other crazy stuff. So, all right, where were we? Back to the chess in the meantime while we're at it. Okay, so Noterbeck's in trouble. Magnus is okay. Gukesh plays queen e6 here, so probably a4. This is not Tang, you guys. This is emergent vitamin C. You pour the powder in, you pour the water, and you get it. But I do love Tang too. Apparently, they're calling the halts a database over. Wait, you're saying for the NYSE they're calling the halts a database overloaded, just the same thing that chess.com has? Are they really calling it that? Seriously? Okay, so we get queen b7, so Gukesh will take on a2 here. And probably rook d7 with the double stack on the 7th, but I don't see the win here because you can't line up a legendary triple easily with rook g3. I don't really like queen b7. I think after queen takes a2, maybe there's c4 here actually to go queen d5 check. Maybe white's still better, but it seems very thin. Very, very thin. Could you please ban me? No, unless you do something bad, I can't ban you. So, okay. Why are people crying about chess.com? Chess24 board layout is much nicer. I don't know about that. Although I do want to change the board color. Why won't it let me save? How do I just save it? I mean, I changed the board. I did this. And I did this. And why won't it how do I save it? I don't understand how I'm supposed to save it. But whatever. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's saved. Oh, it's saved. Now it's good. Okay, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Now it's good. Okay, now we got the right color. Okay, great. All right. So we get queen takes a2. Probably c4 should be played here. This is the worst layout. What can I say? Chess.com's down, you guys. What can I say? I assume we'll get c4 here because it's the only move that cuts off the queen from going back. Because if black can put this queen back on f7, he's fine. And c4 cuts it off, so you can play queen d5. But we'll see. How can it be down? Is Google ever down? I mean, I'm not a tech guy, you guys, so I don't know how it works, but we'll see. But all right. Thank you so much for Chess Pawn for the 10 months. Thank you so much for Chess Pawn. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 10-month resub. Google does not have downtime, but they also have billions of budget. That's true. Yeah, like chess.com is not worth like $1 trillion. That's kind of the point. Yeah, I mean, if chess.com was worth $1 trillion, they could just if chess.com was worth $1 trillion, you guys, I'm pretty sure all the top chess players would make like $3 million every single year. Chess.com would literally set aside $1 billion every year for their chess budget, and everybody would be super rich. So yeah, imagine that if chess.com could spend $1 billion every year. It's like $1 billion is like pocket change at Google. So all right, things are to Torque California for the 12. Then you wouldn't stream. No, you guys, I would stream anyway. I told you I'm a streamer first. Everybody thinks I'm some kind of chess player or something. I mean, why do you guys think that? Be serious. Okay, so c4, rook d7, those are the only two moves that make any sense here, in my opinion. We'll see. Is there a chess related memory in your career you're most proud of? Actually, as I look at my career now, the moment that I'm proudest of, without a doubt, has to be the candidates tournament that I played in 2022. Because let's be honest, like I'm a streamer. I spent time preparing, but I will be honest, like if it in 2016, I was literally spending like 10 hours every single day studying for like 2 months before the event. Like I was studying, I was being super serious about it, and honestly, I was studying the wrong way, which I think played a big role. But I was spending like 10 hours a day studying. But honestly, this time around, I mean, I was doing work quite a bit before the event, but it probably was more like I'd spend like 5-6 hours a day. It was more like casual, very laid back. I was obviously in Colorado, so I'd go out to the mountains every so often, and it was just very, very chill. Thanks so much to Miles Jar for the 22 months. Appreciate it. So yeah, so I'm very, very proud of that. Proud of the candidates result, because I did not expect it. Nothing that happened in 2022 I would say that I expect. Like when I played the Grand Prix, I didn't say it at the time, of course, because you don't want to give because you don't want to like give stuff away like to your competition. But like when I went into the Grand Prix in 2022, I had zero expectations. All that I was hoping to do was play well. I just want to play well, win a game here or there, probably finish in the middle, maybe something like that. That was my goal. I had no expectations whatsoever. And then of course, not only did I do well, I ended up like I won the first Grand Prix event, and I finished runner up in the third one and qualified to the Canada. So that already was like a huge, that was already incredibly crazy to me to do that well. But then beyond that, to then play the candidates and be competitive as well was just like, was great. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of I'm more proud of that than anything else, because like after the candidates, I said it before, sure, I can regret the ding game, I can be unhappy about losing a game that I should have drawn quite easily, but at the end of the day, like that was the only real regret I had in my entire chess career as a player. Was in 2016 when I played the candidates and I did not put forth anywhere near my best effort. I had no chance from the basically the get-go, because I was too nervous, too stressed, worried about everything, and so that was the only regret I had. In 2022 erased it. So yeah, I'm very proud of that. By far and away, like that's the proudest moment in my chess career. Oh, all good. Thank you so much to Mozzarella for the prime. Thank you so much to Mozzarella. Thank you. Why is Ding struggling so badly? Ding's struggling because basically Ding's in no man's land. What he's having to do is he's spending like probably 10 hours a day preparing for the World Championship match, looking at very specific openings, and then he comes to this tournament to play, but he can't use those openings. So it's like you have to prepare a whole second repertoire, and you're trying to play it, but when you aren't playing your best openings, you're generally not going to be as strong as you are with your best openings. So he's kind of caught in no man's land, where it's like he has to play random openings that he doesn't normally play and hopefully survive. So yeah. Why is Levy's ego so high? Donated, he just bullied me. Money changes people, you guys. Money changes people. when your income like triples from 1 month to the next, life changes. So all right, anyway, let's keep going. So Queen C3 is a move, Rook D5 is a move, but again, at the end of the day, this is pretty bad, for Ding. He's in a lot of trouble here, a lot of trouble. What was I doing in California? I was basically seeing my grandmother. She's at an assisted living facility in the Mojave Desert. That was one of the reasons I went out there in 2020. Of course I signed with TSM as well, but in 2020 I went out there to be closer to her, because I actually thought there was a very high chance that she would pass on within like the next 6 months to a year. But of course, went out there. I was out there, and she survived. It's 2023 now, so it's been kind of phenomenal. But it's, yeah. So that's why I was in the Mojave. I was in the Mojave, and then and then I was in LA filming yesterday at coffee, or not yesterday. Was it yesterday? What is today? Today's Tuesday. So Sunday I was filming a coffee chess with all the local guys. So it was a lot of fun. All right. Thank you so much to Fabius Votter for the prime. Thank you so much to Nicholas Goodwin for the tier 1. Coffee chess players, I love coffee chess. Actually, it's really, It's a really, really great vibe. A lot of people who are there, like, they're locals. One thing that I think also people kind of forget is that, like, with chess, I mean, people like to think that chess is a super glamorous game. To some degree it is, but like anybody who was in chess, like, you know, before the last like 10 years, specifically, I would say, like, the earnings were pretty low. Like, if you go back in time, the only players, for example, who did really well in chess were like the world champion, like Garry Kasparov, Anatoly Karpov, you know, Bobby Fischer, obviously, but literally only the world champion did very well. But now you have many different branches that have changed. No, I'm going back, I'm not talking like recent. I'm saying if you go back like more than 10 years, it was only the world champion who's doing well. Like, I'll tell you guys, like, Tata Steel Tournament, for example, I know there were players in the old days who complained because they felt like there was no budget for the appearance fees for other players, because Gary Chess basically took all the money. He took all the money, he got the big appearance fee, and there was no money left for everybody else. So yeah. And on that note, you guys, we're going to segue over into an article that we're going to talk about. So let me pull up an article from an unnamed chess site, and I will set it up. We're going to cover an article here. Let me make this a little bit smaller. This article is "Am I a Chess Tourist?" So here we go. All right, let me make this a little bit bigger. Actually, I'll pop out. There we go. And we have another article to cover. We have an article which is "Am I a Chess Tourist?" This is an article by Grandmaster Vasyl Durarbaily from Azerbaijan, who I did play against in the World Rapid Chess Championship. It says, "I am currently ranked the 177th chess player in the world with a rating of 2612, and 2 days ago participated in a very strong tournament, the 10th Chessable Sunway Chess Festival. I started out as a 20th seed, ended up with 5th place, and improved my world ranking. Overall, you could call it a successful tournament for me chess-wise. What about financially? After 12 days of tough competition, I won 800 euros and got taxed by 24%, so my net earnings were 608 euros. However, just my flight from Baku was 700 euros. I played in this tournament in 2019 as well and won 2nd place. Interestingly, the flight at the time was only about 235 euros. So first things first, Vasyl, instead of getting mad at chess, there's one group that you should get mad at in particular. You should obviously get very angry at the central banks and the Federal Reserve in particular for letting inflation run wild. Moving on. The price of flights has nearly tripled since then. However, the prize fund of the tournament was barely increased from 27,155 to 28,700 euros before tax. My boarding was provided by organizers, so I only paid for food, which was around 50 euros daily. 12 times 50 plus 700 equals 1,300 euros. The 3rd place prize of this tournament this year was 1,140 euros, which would still not have helped me to break even. Therefore, I must have at least earned 2nd place to earn any income, which would be 2,280 euros after tax. My net profit from this tournament, if I had gotten 2nd place, like in 2019, would have only been 900 euros. This is not a serious amount of money for a professional chess player. Obviously, a logical person would read this analysis and understand that playing in this tournament is a financially disastrous decision. As far as I know, even players rated higher than me in this event were not offered any extraordinary conditions to play. So one might ask, why were there so many strong players in this tournament? The answer is simple and clear. Players do not have better alternatives. Other tournaments do not offer significantly better conditions than this one did. For instance, in early December, there was another strong tournament. That one was in Spain too. If I had gone there, I would have started in the 20th seed as well. The prizes there were better than Sunway Sitges, but not significantly different if we don't consider the first 2 prizes. The 5th place was 1,300 euros before tax, only 500 euros more than the prize that I won at 500 euros more than the prize that I won at Sunway, which is not a serious increase. This situation occurs throughout the whole year. There are only a handful of tournaments where going makes financial sense. And this is where, you guys, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to give a little bit of a rant. People can take it whatever direction they want. But this is why when we talk about chess players and their earnings and how you make a living, this is why chess is so stressful and so difficult. If you get past a certain age, let's say you're 13 or 14 years old and you're 2,600, 13, 14 years old, who is footing the bill for all this stuff? It's not you. You're a kid. You don't have any of these thoughts in your mind about what is going on. Your parents are the ones paying for it. Now, that is not to take away anything from your parents, who obviously are supporting you, but they're the ones who are worrying about all these different things, which is why if you're trying to become really strong at chess, you have to get really good at a young age, before you get too old and life takes over and you have to worry about all these things yourself. So that's why when we look at like juniors and people of that age, like that's where you have to have the spurt and the increase. If you get to like 18 or 19 years old, these are serious things. Like well, not you don't, but in most cases you don't have parents who are going to be supporting you, paying for all these things, and generally you're not going to have sponsors either for any of this stuff. So you have to get really good before life takes over. That is the bottom line. I think this explains a lot of why adult improving is so hard. I got bills to pay. Of course, it's very, very true. Very true. The situation occurs throughout the whole year. Now, the other thing, and this is why, like I say, someone earlier was alluding to why, like I said, streaming is easier than chess, because the problem is when you're playing chess professionally, there are situations where, for example, you're in a last round game. It makes financial sense to make a draw to guarantee a piece of the pie at least, so you don't lose your whole, you don't lose the whole airfare, all the meals, everything else, hotel. So there are a lot of cases where players have to make draws, which of course is not good it's not good for your improvement at chess, obviously, because you're making draws, you're not playing the interesting games and trying to win, but you have to make those decisions, because of course if you don't, you could just spend 2,000 euros and be out 2,000 euros, and it's very, very difficult. India is not applicable here, you guys. India is one of those India is a unicorn. Let's put it that way. India is a unicorn. Let's leave it at that for now. All right. Okay, finally I said to myself that enough is enough, and that I would love to play some classical chess, so I did not mind spending 1,300 euros on this trip with little chance of earning anything. I must add that I greatly enjoyed this tournament. The organizer of Sunway Sitges does an amazing job, and I enjoyed my stay both times there. However, in general, I feel like I might have already become a chess tourist, because I'm not playing for earning money, but solely for the enjoyment of playing chess. The situation is much worse for lower rated players. GM or IM titles do not mean much anymore, as they rarely get decent conditions to play. For instance, with my 2600 rating, I often get complimentary double room accommodation from tournament organizers, but the prize funds of such tournaments are not great. Even higher rated players, if we exclude the very highest rated players, are not doing great financially. Most professional chess players do not earn well just by playing. They need to do something extra to make an income. Teaching private lessons is the most common practice. Very true. Most people do try to do this. Ultimately, FIDE must act immediately to improve the conditions of these tournaments to support chess professionals. As far as I know, the only direct actions they have taken to improve open tournaments are allocating a financial aid package of 200,000 euros for open tournaments. It is double the amount allocated last year, but I think it is still too little to make a substantial difference. FIDE will do something. Yes, exactly. Number 2, creating the Grand Swiss tournament for chess professionals held every second year, which was indeed a great idea. But, however, it cost the chess world the elimination of another great yearly open tournament, Isle of Man. Because of this, I'm not sure if the Grand Swiss gave or actually took away more from chess professionals. Now, fun little tidbit here, because I do know this as well. He's not wrong. They need more money, but of course, expecting FIDE to put more money into chess when FIDE is busy increasing their own salaries is pretty unlikely to begin with. But secondly, the Grand Swiss tournament was not a tournament that FIDE actually created. It was a tournament that was already existing, that many professional players enjoyed. They loved it, and many of those same professional players are very disappointed to see how FIDE has taken over the tournament and how it is not run the way it was before. So there's my daily, or my 30-minute, my daily every 30-minute shot at FIDE, just for you guys who are wondering. Overall, I believe FIDE could and should do much better than this. Otherwise, many professionals, including myself, will become only chess tourists. So is something wrong with the mic? No, the mic is good. You guys should hear me completely fine. So this is an article. Now I'm gonna find something from someone I generally do not listen to on Twitter. I don't pay much attention to him that often, but there was one thing that I wanted to pull up very, very briefly. Let me find it on Twitter. What did he say? What did he say? Right, so I just want to pull up this, and now for the best part, I don't normally follow this person super closely. He talks a little bit too much for my liking at times, but we will make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. And yeah, we have this tweet from Peter Heine Nielsen, which says FIDE never had so many employees and presidential advisors as we have now, and we keep adding more and more, from 580,000 euros in salaries to $1 million in 2023 for staff. Sure, we had to cancel the FIDE Grand Prix. So this as well, I will say, speaks volumes about where FIDE is at. in general terms of what's going on, because FIDE meanwhile, yeah, it's just like, let's just keep increasing our salaries, let's keep fattening our pockets, but in the meantime we're going to do less and less for chess. And that is, I'm going to say that they are not doing they're not improving things, and that's just the reality. So they're basically padding their own pockets without improving the chess world at all, bottom line. So yep, that's what I would say. Okay, so let's get back to the game. We'll pull up the games now. I'll change the scene, obviously, or actually no, sorry, I have one more bit I need to cover. One more bit, sorry. There's one more bit that I need to cover. So what is this? We basically, I don't need to cover it, but I will just talk about it very, very briefly. And this is about of course, good old wrong scene. This is about good old wrong scene. This is about good old Eric Hansen. Now, Eric Hansen, very strong player. I think his FIDE rating, I don't know what Eric's FIDE is at the moment, but I'm going to assume Eric, give or take, somewhere between like 2610, 2620, and maybe like 2630, 2640 rated. Eric Hansen had his best year ever as a chess player last year when he made a whopping $42,000 and $42,550. So Eric Hansen, 2609, very strong player. I've said on many occasions, if he could focus or be more disciplined, maybe he could get to like 2650, a little bit above that. But at any rate, his best year ever was 2022, when he made $42,000, you guys, $42,000. So again, chess is very, very difficult, very, very difficult to make a living, and that's what it is. So all right, back to the chess now. Let me put the music back on. First things first, put the music back on, and away we go. Where was I? There we go. There we are. Okay. Thank you so much to Livon for the 9. Thank you, Sunny for the 22. Thank you, Liam H for the Prime, Vendel for the Prime, D Bunny for the Prime, and Faristo for the Prime. Thank you to Mentat King for the 34 months. Thank you so much to Guild for the 2, Slim G for the 20, and GM Godmaster for the 5 months. Thank you to Fingold for the 3. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. For this reason, chess will never become a sport. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. Okay, so meanwhile, Ding is losing. After b6, bishop b7, this will be a big dub for Anish Giri. I will be playing in the event starting on February 3rd. I will be, yeah. Yeah. So again, you guys, as I said before, everybody thinks that I make stuff up. It's all like I'm just making stuff up. When I talk about chess players, I talk about earnings, all these different things. Like, there's a reason I say it, and it's not because I'm making it up. So, anyway. No, I mean Eric. No, but you guys, I'm not talking about Eric. I'm not talking about Eric on Twitch or YouTube. I'm talking about Eric as a chess player. I'm giving a chess specific example. Eric obviously does fine because of Twitch and YouTube, but I'm talking about as a chess player. If you assume none of this exists, like, he would be making 42K a year, and that's his best year ever. So think about Eric. When Eric was younger, he probably was a little bit stronger. He made less than that. So it just speaks volumes. So yeah. All right. So Anish is doing very, very well here. He's gonna win this game. Magnus looks drawish. I mean, h6 is a tad soft here, but tad soft. Yeah. So yeah. How would I describe Anish's playing style? He's just a rock. Queen f5, play to eat the juicer. So bishop h6, you have rook e1. And then queen h5, you have to block, takes, and you lose the game. So Magnus is not going to win this game, it looks like. It looks like Magnus is not going to win this, barring something crazy happening. Why is Arjun having a bad turn? I think Arjun, I don't know, I think he's just struggling. He has not played well. The World Rapid and Blitz, he didn't play great. He's not having a good tournament here. I mean, it could just be the typical, you know, once he broke through, just having those typical blues that you sometimes have. But he's got plenty of time to improve, so a lot going on. Noterbeck is losing to Vincent. Oh, yeah, this knight is coming to e5. Once you get a classic XQC Bastion with this pony on e5, this will get really, really bad. I think Noterbeck is going to lose this game. I think there's a La Bernadata for the 2, thinking Urui for the prime. So yes, this is very important for the tournament standings. Absolutely, very, very important for the tournament standings. So yeah. Do I have the blues yourself? How do you deal with that? I mean, I had the blues many times, especially around like 2017, 2018 in particular, in regards to chess. I mean, it's very difficult to deal with it. Very difficult. Very difficult to deal with. I mean, I think the main thing is you just have to trust. I mean, I don't want to say trust in the process, because then what am I, like, trying to spout NBA lines? But like, you kind of, you have to believe that, like, you're a good player, the quality, it's like, there's a good saying, I believe it's a British saying, it's not American, but there's a saying that, like, form is temporary, class is permanent. I think generally you have to have that sort of attitude where it's like, that your class, your ability is there, you're just playing poorly at the moment. So thank you so much to Zots for the 17 months, appreciate it, thank you. It worked for the 76ers. Yeah, I see the market open today. Any actual explanations yet? I mean, I saw it because it was weird. I literally looked, and I was like, I did a double take. I was getting set up, and I looked, I was like, wait a second, AT&T's up 13%. I was like, something's wrong with that. Like, I saw AT&T up 13, I saw Southern Energy up 6, and I was like, wait a second, what's going on? But yeah, very strange. So I think it's to Enzo to share for the 60. It's like tennis, only one winner every turn. It has to be okay with losing some many weeks. Yes, but Isotome, the difference between chess and tennis is very clear. The players who are playing in tennis, generally they'll have sponsors. They might not be massive sponsors if you're not like in the top 50 in the world or top 100, but most players will have a sponsor. So they will have some sponsors. Whereas in chess, honestly, I mean, it's very tough for top players to get sponsors. I mean, for me, the biggest sponsor I had was Red Bull for a long time, and that was, I guess I can say it, that was not a big sponsorship, you guys. So I was like 27. I'll just tell you guys, I think I can, it's been long enough since I was with them, but my sponsorship deal with Red Bull when I was like top 10 player in the world, maybe, I think I was around top 10, maybe top 5ish. My sponsorship deal was I believe it was $17,000 a baseline salary for the year. So it was like $17,000 as a baseline, and then $15,000 of incentives. So that's what it was. My salary worked out if I maxed out, and I did, because I had enough like first and second place finishes in the entire year. My what I got for sponsorship from Red Bull was $32,000 a year. $32,000 a year, you guys. I said 117. Yeah, it was a 17k base, and then like 15k was like 3k for every first place finish, and 2k for second, something like that. But it was 15k cap. So yeah, I'm impressed with your 32k. Yeah, no wonder you got 50 million. 32k does not equal 50 million. No, in a year, you guys, in a year. Thank you, Dodgy Curve, for the 5. No, I'm not saying per month. I'm saying in a year, not in a month. In a year, you guys, in 1 year. Thank you for Scottimus for the 18 months. Appreciate it. So yeah. So it was like, yeah. So yep. And that's like Red Bull. That's with me being like a top 10 chess player. Now, mind you, things have improved since then, because that was all the way back in like 2013, 2014-ish. So I mean, of course, things were different, and now there are more sponsors. But that's like, yeah, that's like what it was. That's what it was like, you guys. Yeah. No, you guys, no travel covered. That was just like flat money from them. I had to cover everything else separately. That's it. That's what it was. And that's just like a top 10 chess player. Yeah, this is a top 10 chess player. I mean, it's like wild. Okay, let's go back to Ding, because Ding is on the brink of losing. Now Ding is trying to set up like he's trying to set up a lolly checkmate on G7, but I doubt he's gonna get there. So Hikaru, please don't buy a Lambo. Recession is coming. Purchase properties and real estate. Kind of hard to purchase real estate properties, you guys, when the mortgage rates are 7%. Kind of hard. The whole buying to rent model kind of got blown out the window when interest rates went back to closer to where they should be historically. So yep. Buy a Honda Civic, my friend. They last forever. My Honda Civic is great. I've had it for like 3 years now. It's just fantastic. I love it. Yeah. So all right. You know a lot about chess for streamers as a hobby. Yeah, chess is a good hobby. I like talking about other things like history, finance, much more than chess. I saw something on I think it was a Dexerto tweet yesterday. It's like, you have all these financial YouTubers who are out there saying like, it's so easy to make money. You go buy like a Lambo, you should have like 20 houses and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I can't believe that people actually watch that shit. Anyway. All right. So probably bishop takes f1 is best. Rook f1, trade, queen f4 is GG. So the only question is after bishop f1, can white like go check? But you have no more checks here. You have like rook g3 maybe, or rook f1. Give us your best financial advice. I mean, it's not advice, but in my opinion, probably just like if you can set aside some amount of money every month and just like dollar cost average in the S&P, that's probably what I would do. So I do, like set aside like, I don't know, $200 every month if you can, and just buy SPY. Just buy every month. That's probably like that's the general best thing I could say to anybody. But it's not advice, it's just my opinion. Of course, because you can't give advice. I think there's a Crejo for the prime. Yeah, like SPY exactly. Okay, what do we have? King h8 played by Anish. Another good move, just a sidestep. Yeah, this is over. Anish is gonna win here, and he will get to the same score that Noterbeck is on, because Noterbeck is losing. Big loss for Noterbeck here to lose this game. Yep. What is SPY? I thought S&P 500. SPY is the S&P index, you guys. But that's just what I would say, broadly speaking. The reason I say, like, I don't want to get too off the weeds, but like, I will say that, like, for, you know, I've read a lot on finance. I feel like there's so much garbage out there that people say, like, do this, do that, like GME or AMC or all that other stuff. But the reality is, it's just very, I mean, it's like you should just keep it very basic. Okay, Anish does win the game, moves to 6 points. We have Magnus and Prague who are still going. SPX is down 15%, brother. Yes, you guys, that's why you dollar cost average. Duh. Thank you. Okay, so we have a tweet we could cover about the 2023 Chess Champions Tour. We'll do that a little bit later as well. But yeah, you guys, thank you. Thank you for that. That was one of the best things that I will say. Like, when I was younger, I read the Bogle book and the Jeremy Siegel book, and it's like, it's really about looking at like the 30-year time horizons of periods and seeing that over 30 years there's like no period when you would have lost money if you consistently invested. So okay, so yeah. All right, anyway, so Anish wins his game. So we have 2 games. We have Noterbeck versus Kamer. We have Carlsen versus Gukesh. I thought that rook c6 and f5 was just an easy draw, but he goes for rook a8. So there's a little bit of play in the position, still a little bit of play. I read A Random Walk Down Wall Street. I read that when I was much younger. I have that. I don't think I have that on my bookshelf here, but I have it on a bookshelf back in New York. So all right, Prague is still playing against Fabiano. This looks pretty drawish. Trade rook b7. This will be a draw. So Fabiano will draw this game against Pragnanta, rated 2684, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with that draw, let me see, FIDE ratings calculator. I'm gonna check 1 second. Okay, let's go to FIDE ratings calculator. Let me see. Fabiano is 2766, 2684. Score is draw. K factor is 10. Yeah, so with this draw, which we'll be getting very soon, it looks like Fabiano is about to lose his #1 ranking in America. A certain streamer is about to retake the #1 spot rightfully, and so tough luck for Fabiano. At any rate, so we have Prague and Fabiano still going. Magnus still playing as well. But yeah, this should be a draw. No, because basically, I'll show you guys. Like, I'll go to 2700 chess right now. You go to 2700 chess, you'll see L Magnus is #1. You'll see that Ding is #2. Ding, ooh, below 2800, worth noting. You have Nepo Man #3, Alireza #4, Anish #5. You have Fabiano currently #6, but he's only 0.6 ahead of Hikaru Nakamura, and he's going to lose 1.1 points for a draw, so he will fall back to number 7, and Hikaru will overtake him to become the #1 rated American player once again. All right, so back to the back to the chess. So I guess we'll just leave it on Noterbeck for a little bit and then we'll go back. Who? I don't know, some guy who streams, whatever, who cares. But like I also was gonna say the world is very strange because I did a recap and I didn't really talk about it because obviously I was on the road, but you know, Fabiano lost his game to Magnus yesterday, and it's truly bizarre to live in a world where somehow Fabiano has become the new me, where he collapses and folds like a cheap suit anytime he plays Magnus. It's very, very weird to see. But it seems like ever since their SCC match where Magnus, I mean, destroyed Fabiano, I think that's putting it generously, ever since then Fabiano he just completely collapses against Magnus every game, and it's very, very weird to see. Like if you had told me that in 2019, I would have said like you're smoking something, like you're completely out of your mind. There's no way in a million years that like Hikaru is going to suddenly be able to play well and be competitive with Magnus, and then Fabiano, who like always did well against Magnus, never had any mental issues, suddenly is just like collapsing. It's just bizarre. Very, very bizarre.
Took $5 out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks.
No, I mean it's like that's not even. It's not even like I'm trying to. I'm not even really like. I'm not flaming Fabiano. I'm just. I don't even understand how that's possible. Because like, if you told me that in 2019, I think anybody in the world, they would have laughed at you. They've been like, you're completely out of your mind. There's no way that's ever going to happen. There's just no way. It's just not possible. Thank you so much to Puka for the 15 months. Thank you to Dilshan Alzami for them. Do I think you can do better? I don't know. No, but you guys who are talking about chess.com, it's the events page specifically that's down. Like I can get into live chess, but I can't get into the events page. Like I can get into live chess, but I can't get into the events page. That's the problem. So that's what all the issues are. Thanks so much to Paxano for the $3. Thanks so much to Paxano. You're my first donation ever with a hello I will be placed. Thanks so much to Paxano. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Yeah. So okay. Thank you so much to Ahmed Zawari for the 8 months. Thank you so much. Isn't that like? I know that's okay. That's a normal name. Sorry. At first, that name looked like a name related to something September 11th. Thanks so much to Jikas for the 2 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks so much to Lamb for the 8 months. Appreciate it. Thanks so much to Sangleon. But I think that was a little bit different. That was Alzawa Hiri. Slightly different name. Yeah. So yeah. No. I saw. I was like, no, that was Alzawa Hiri. That was a different name. Okay, so what do we have? We're still waiting for a move here. What a slip? No, it's not a slip. It's just it looked. I mean, I read a bunch of books about all that stuff. Yeah. Thanks so much to Vagusta for the 11 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so 93 and 97 are both playable here. Hawk, I assume that he has time, but I don't know what it is. What is your back of a Twitch face? Similar issues like chess.com? Well, you guys, if that were to happen, I would just go on YouTube and make a video, which I will make later. I'm going to make a video about my most painful loss ever, so I would just go record videos for YouTube. That's why generally it's good to actually have a presence on multiple platforms and everything else. It's just for that reason. Really, really important. Thank you so much to Jerry Cack for the 13 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Jerry Cack. Thank you. So yes, that's what I would do, you guys. And I will do that later. I'm going to go make another video because I've been cranking them out lately for YouTube. So I'll go make another video. It happens when we're both Egyptian. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, you guys, where were we? Hikaru, I have a huge crush on Daniel. I mean, he's probably if I'm being honest and objective, I know some people will be mad. He has the best actual like teaching, learning content out of everybody. So that's I mean, some people will get mad at me for saying that, but that is actually the truth. Okay, go back to Magnus' game. Magnus is trying desperately to create something. I mean, I guess he wants a juicer, but like you have a rook behind a passed pawn here, so it's kind of tough to play. Yeah. I mean, Daniel's great. Well, okay, you guys, don't try to bait me into all of that, but I mean, yeah. You know who would get mad at that? Somebody who's like Yeah, whatever. I don't want to. I don't want to even say anything. Okay, so where were we? We have Magnus. Magnus versus Gukesh. Prague versus Fabiano still going. They canceled Title Tuesday. Yeah, again, you're saying Levy said he's responsible. You guys, I'm not going to get into any of that. I'm not going to get into any of that. I know you're waiting for me to say something and then just like clip it and ship it or whatever, start some drama. I'm not going to get into that. The only thing I will say is that like there are many different things that have happened and no one person is responsible for everything. That's just the reality. No one person is responsible for it. Like Levy's had a lot of success. He's seen incredible growth on YouTube. He's not the only one, but he's seen incredible growth and so like he's saying some of these things. Maybe he's joking, maybe he's not. Doesn't really matter that much to me personally. Thank you so much to Lucky Luke for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. So, yeah. So, okay, let's see. What will Gukesh play? There's Rook A6, there's Rook A4. We'll see. You made Levy. I'm not, again, you guys, I don't want to get into any of that right now. It's not the time for any of that sort of stuff. Okay, it's not the time for that. All I will say is that people should remember, like, you know, where they came from, who helped them along the way. That's what I would say. People should remember where they came from, who helped them along the way. Like I would say for myself, I will always be eternally grateful to XQC for everything he did. I mean, there were other people too. There was like Chocobars who was really helpful in other ways. Voyboy as well. Like those are probably the three people, and then of course Reckful as well. Like I will always be eternally grateful to, like, you know, three of them who are living, and of course Reckful, who, as we know, you know, Byron's not around anymore. But those are probably the four people who I will, you know, it doesn't matter. I think in many ways I've had far more success than all of them except for XQC, and I still will be thankful for I'll still be thankful to all of them for what they did. Thank you so much to V Word EXE for the 5 months. Thank you to Pixano for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's see, what is Prague going to do here? Probably F3 is move, maybe H4 as well. Forsen watch their streams. There's nothing direct though with Forsen. Nothing direct, although I mean I did one off stream lesson with him before he played Hafu. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so there's H4, there's F3, King F2. I mean, all this is pretty standard here. So thank you so much to Laco for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much to Laco. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 5 gifted, man. You're the best. Thank you so much. Once again, big shout out to everybody who's watching. Hope you guys are enjoying everything. We're just chilling, having a good time, and going from there. Thank you so much to Alimentive Cerebral for the 28 months. Appreciate it.
Alimentative_cerebral just subscribed.
XQC said he's planning to start a podcast interview with famous people. He said you were on the list who he wants to have. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll always, I mean, again, I know people like think, you know, everyone can think what they want, but I will always be like really grateful to XQC. Like, I know he can be wild, he can do all sorts of crazy things, but I mean, without XQC and what he did, I will say I don't think chess would be where it's at today. I don't think it would be. Thank you so much to Anonymous for the good sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So anyway, do I think Lex Fridman boosted chess with his interviews? Absolutely. Of course he did. Of course he did. Yeah, as far as Levy goes, I'm not going on this road, you guys, but people should remember where they came from and who helped them along the way. Yeah, I mean, with XQC, the reason I say that, you guys, is because as I've alluded to before, Ludwig did a lot too, agreed. But XQC, like, if that PogChamps boom doesn't happen the way it did, if there isn't the content that people can find on Twitch and on YouTube to the degree they can, the boom would not, like this recent boom would not happen. Because when people see like videos like on TikTok, or you see clips where you hear about chess, like what is the first thing you do? You go Google and you try to find what the resources are. And when you have the resources, it's like very easy to get into chess, get obsessed, and just like go from there. But if none of that exists, the resources aren't there, people would not stick with chess. Thank you so much to Ali WW for the 16 and the real Alistair for the 100 bits. The real credit goes to FIDE at the end of the day, guys. We all know that. Yes, the lighthearted joke that all the credit goes to FIDE. Exactly. Yeah. It goes to all the credit goes to FIDE, right? FIDE, yep. God bless FIDE. God bless FIDE. Said nobody ever. Except the people who are getting you know, part of that $1 million that they have on their payroll. So what else do we have? This game's still going. Magnus still playing against Gukesh. Is looking kind of scary for Magnus, maybe. I mean, if Black can get this A pawn rolling, it's getting scary. Getting scary. Another rip at FIDE. Hey, it's easy. It's low hanging fruit, and it's very easy. I should make my own organization. Well, it's happened in the past, but you know, also since we're talking about chess broadly speaking, one of the things that people should realize, and this is where I think FIDE is completely oblivious and out of touch with reality, is that one of the reasons that Kasparov, when he broke away from FIDE, created the PC. Whoa, thank you so Sky Blue Matt for the 10 gift. Is when Gary Kasparov, also known as Gary Chess, broke away from FIDE to create his own group. The problem was they had to keep getting sponsors. They kept needing money to fund it. But right now, the situation we're in, it's very different because, like, just a very basic thing is that if, for example, say let's just say chess.com is extremely profitable. They have millions of members who are, I mean, they're 10 million active, hundreds of thousands signing up every single day, and everything. Like, if chess.com just committed like a certain amount of that money out of their profits every year to like improving chess and having tournaments, etc., like, they will slowly take over FIDE, because you don't need to keep finding money. When Gary broke away and created the PCA, they kept needing sponsors, they kept needing that money. It wasn't something where there was like natural money coming in. So that is the big difference in general terms between the world now versus the world in the past. Who is my toughest loss? Topalov? Of course it was not Topalov. Come on, you guys. But I'll wait till I make the video for YouTube, and then you can see who my toughest loss was against. So yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it here for a second. Prague's game, still boring. Vincent's game, still going. We'll leave it on Magnus's game, because I think this is the game that's going to change. Ding game, I'm still malding. Yeah, I'm always malding about that. I'm not, though. I'm not. So yeah. A5, A4, A3 coming in here, and we go from there. Yeah. No, I mean, the game that the game that I guess, like, the game against Ding, when I look back on it, yeah, I felt like it had very little to actually do with nerves. It's just that I had no gas at the end of the term. So, like, kind of by the time that it got to that middle game where the queens were off, in my mind I was like, it's going to be a draw no matter what I do. And I'd kind of, like, in my mind, I thought the game was over, and I made like one or two bad moves, and then it was game back on, and I really didn't have the gas at that point to I didn't have the gas to kind of turn it around. Thank you so much to Swamp Pearl for the 4 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Anna Cramling for the raid with 1,203. Thank you so much.
Watch the show or watch the show.
So,
thank you.
what do we have? A5 played here. Like I said, probably Rook F7's a move. Maybe there's, I mean, I guess computer like C5. Why? Takes and what? Rook A4? Because you have Bishop C3, so maybe it's good enough to draw, but still hard to judge. Thank you so much to Rob M for the 5 months. Appreciate it.
$5 out of Bezos's pocket. Thanks. What's the hardest thing about long-time format chess?
Thank you so much to Pickle Water for the tier 1 as well. Thanks so much, Pickle Water. Okay, A4 will be played here. Magnus wants to go Rook A5 and then play like A3, A2. So let's see. A4 will be played with like 95% certainty, I assume. Like A4, Rook A5, and we'll see. Why did chess.com not mention Chess-Based India? That's actually a good point. Actually, that is because we're here in like the northern hemisphere and we don't generally think about I mean, obviously everyone knows about Vichy and the kids, but people don't generally think about that market. I think the main reason is because the majority of people who watch don't, like, the people who watch me, the people who watch Levy, the people, I'll say YouTube because Chess-Based India is YouTube specific, like, most of the audience is completely different from what I know. At least most of the audience is completely separate, so we generally don't think about it. But yes, they are doing quite a bit as well. Only America counts. Well, in terms of like ad revenue and other things, that's true. But at any rate, but at any rate, yeah, Sagara does a lot of videos and stuff of that nature, so it's pretty good.
GMHikaru.
But as I would always say, as far as India goes, everybody,
Subscribed.
maybe this is too over the top, but everybody should basically be on the ground bowing and thanking Vishy because Vishy did unbelievable things for Indian chess. None of it happens without Vishy. Thank you so much to Definitely Not Average for the 8 gin and tonic for the 4. Thank you so much to Dennis Fib for the 10 months. Appreciate it. Boo. I mean, in India is like 100% Vishy. Like not even close. Like 99.99% of what's happened is because of Vishy. That's just the reality. Like all these kids have these sponsorship deals. I don't know how much money it's for, obviously, but still, it's good enough that they can go play his tournaments. They get like they can cover all their costs and they can just focus on the chess. And that never happens without Vishy getting to where he got to. So it's just been a huge boon for all these kids. Huge boon for all of them, like Gukesh, Arjun, Prag. I mean, even the older generation, like Vidit, Hari Krishna. Maybe Hari Krishna never really got it so much, but like Vidit for sure did. I think Adiban did. Like they've all gotten so much support from like state oil companies, tech companies. Like it's incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. Thank you so much to Charlotte Chess Center for the 28 and Chuck the Muck for the Prime. So yeah. By the way, why did Magnus suddenly diss you? Was he pressed or was he just joking? I don't know what Magnus said. I don't know what you mean. I think it's Dwayneism for the 100 bits. Thank you so much to Samus fan for the 4. I think it's Samus. Samus, yeah, Samus is which game? Samus is in that fighting game. Yeah, Samus is that character with the gun, right? It's been like, what was the game? No, not Metroid Droid. There was the old game. What was it? Smash. Yeah. Smash Bros. Yes. Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Of course. I played that way back in the old days. Yes. Way back in the old days. Samus. Yeah. No, exactly. Thinking of Marcus Guns. I mean, I have my Switch and I have Metroid Droid on it, but I was thinking of Super Smash. Yeah. Oh, it came from Smash Bros. Wait, what? It came from Metroid? Or am I thinking of the wrong game? Actually, wait. Is Metroid the same game as Metroid Droid, or it's a version of it? I think there was a Rehor flip for the 2 months.
Rayer Philip just subscribed.
Hey gamer. Yeah, I never played. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm getting the games confused now. All right. When Hikaru has house parties, he turns that pineapple upside down. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. Yeah, Metroid Dread is one of the games from series. Okay. Okay, what do we have? Rookie 6 or Rookie 7 here? Both moves are good. Whoa, thank you, Sky Blue Matt, for the 10 gifted subs. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Skyblue_Matt has gifted 10 subs to viewers.
So, all right, what do we have? So probably King F8 is the only move, or King F6. Cricket or chess, what's bigger in India? Obviously cricket. So many gifted subs when we don't get any. Sorry, you guys, it's life. What do you think about the rumors of Kirill Shevchenko switching from Ukraine to Romania? No clue. Don't know what's going on. Have no idea. Okay, so Noterbeck is just going to sit with the king here. He's going to try to sit and wait. We'll see what happens here. Things so much that they call me BZ for the prime. They turn Swagger for the 10 gifts. Appreciate it.
Turnip Swagger has
Noterbeck will sit here. I'll go King F8 or F6 and just kind of try to sit and wait and go from there.
T1 Luffy just took
So it goes to F6. We'll probably get check King G7 and then we reset. Magnus is still playing. He's playing against Prague. Or not Prague, sorry. He's playing against Gukesh. Problem is, I just don't see. I mean, the problem for Magnus here is Black can even just trade and go like, I guess Rook E6 allows Rook. No, but you still take and you still have Rook F6, and I think you're inside the box here. So, mean, there still are tricks, but it's probably a draw no matter what he does. What are the odds Title Tuesday doesn't get canceled? T1 love you for the 18. Thank you. I mean, I hope it doesn't get canceled. It better not get canceled. It better not get canceled. If it gets canceled, it's going to be a short stream, though. All right, we got A4, obviously. And actually, I'm going to run to the restroom quickly, so I'll be back in 1 second.